the Building Bridges initiative. On News Center this morning, we take a look at the intrigues at the Orange Party and how the party hopes to revamp itself. Good morning there. Thank you for joining us. This is News Center and my name is Betty Kialo. Very happy and glad that you could join us this morning, the 7th day of May 2018. Well, I trust that you had a fantastic weekend and you're all set up and motivated for this new week. Of course, in the next 2 hours, we'll be updating you on stories taking center stage right here in the country. But of course, also we'll be having a discussion around the intrigues at ODM. They will be going for a retreat this week. And of course, we'll be getting the latest details from my colleague Kuresoi, who will be joining me in a few minutes to just talk to us about that. He will be joining us shortly from our city center studio. Of course, apart from him, we'll also be having a conversation here in studio with Ugenya Member of Parliament and the Chair of the Public Accounts Committee, Opio Wandai, is going to be joining me in a few minutes here on the show to discuss further on one of our top stories today. But apart from that, also, we're looking at other top stories, and the Ministry of Education and striking lecturers officials are set to meet today and discuss the government counter-offer that will either see the lecturers escalate the strike in 10 days or not. Also, the Chief Qadi of Kenya, Sheikh Mother Hussein, and his Deputy Sheikh Ali Omar are this morning set to give the position of Islam regarding the issue of female genital mutilation. We'll be having that for you here. Finally, also, besieged NAT Secretary General Wilson Sossion vows to continue fighting for the rights of teachers, dismissing his alleged ouster as inconsequential. All right, so of course today, like I mentioned, we're putting some politics on the fore, and we're asking you on our Twitter poll, do you support the proposal to have Raila Odinga on the ballot come 2022? Would like to hear your thoughts on this one. Do you support the proposal to have Raila Odinga on the ballot come 2022? Talk to me. Let me know what you think about this particular proposal. Hashtag, of course, is KTN News Center, or you can choose to tweet me at Betty M. Kialo. I'll be very happy and glad to, of course, hear your responses to this. Right, so I'm already seeing quite a number of tweets regarding our Twitter poll. Let me hear your thoughts about it. I'm seeing quite a number of people already just chiming into that conversation. Keep it coming, and I'm going to be sampling your views as we proceed on with the show this morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's get it started. And embattled Kenya National Union of Teachers Secretary General Wilson Sossion is now blaming the government for his woes. Sossion, who is embroiled in a vicious leadership struggle at the Teachers Union, says he will not be dissuaded from carrying out his mandate. Take a look.
Waiting for a meeting from the Teacher Service Commission to deal with the pending promotions of teachers. That is very important. And this is where all the elected leaders, I expect National Executive Council members and members of the National Steering, anytime they come to Nairobi, we discuss teachers' issues. They cannot be victims of executing government wishes. So what we are seeing in place is a perfect script written by the government, directed by the government, but performed by a segment of the leadership of KNUT.
Purity Wangoi Ngirishi has dismissed calls by a section of political leaders to amend the constitution, saying that Mount Kenya region is not ready for a referendum. Now, speaking during a funds drive at Kangata Catholic Church in Kirinyaga County, Wangoi said a referendum would be costly and the country's economy is yet to pick up following 2 presidential elections last year. Now, the woman MP added that the Mount Kenya region is not interested in 2022 politics since residents have already decided to throw their weight behind Deputy President William Ruto.
Mount Kenya na Kirinyaga particularly. Tunasema kwamba tunataka maendeleo saa hii. Siasa imeisha. Tumetumia pesa mingi sana, tumetupa wakati mwingi sana, na kwa saa hii tungependa tuwe na maendeleo. Watu wa Mount Kenya, we are not interested na hiyo maneno ya sijui 2022, sababu tuko na continuity. We have decided, ama ni vipi? We have decided who we are giving the presidency in 2022 for purposes of continuity. Kwa hivyo hakutakuwa na siasa mingi ya presidency. Tutaenda tupatie William Samoei Ruto, si ndio? Alafu tukimaliza hapo tutaendelea tu na maendeleo na hii 4 pillars, the big 4 ambazo president wetu ametuhimiza kwamba anataka legacy yake awache.
Now, more than 200 students from Basuba ward in Lamu County are unable to go to school after a road leading to their schools was rendered impassable by heavy rains. Now, with no secondary schools in the ward, students travel long distances in search of knowledge and with the hope of a better future. Area MCA Barisa Dekobana, who hired motorbikes to ferry the stranded students, urged the government to come up with response mechanisms to ease the situation even as the rains continue to pound the region. Mohammed Omar, one of the rescued, called upon the government to construct more schools in the area to save them the long trek.
Funzo lilitoka Basuba, kwanza shida barabarani, maji imejaa. Alafu na sasa na shida usafiri kule ni dhiki sana. Na hali wakati kama huu mwezi wa 5 hivi mvua ikinyesha, watu tunapata shida sana kuja huko. Sasa inabidi tungangane kuja huko, barabarani nao maji imejaa. Na sasa wanafunzi wengine hata wako nyuma huko sasa. Hatujui nao watafika lini huko. Basuba paka kiangu ni kama kilomita 20. Na sasa usafiri ni shida kule. Sasa imebidi tutoke kwa miguu. Kwa bahati nzuri sasa mheshimiwa mwenyewe akatumania pikipiki.
300 employees of Tharaka Nithi County risk losing their jobs after a biometric registration system that was introduced in the county fails to recognize them. According to data collected at the beginning of the biometric registration 3 weeks ago, only 2,600 employees turned up for registration out of 2,900 employees. Now, speaking when he launched the system officially in Kathwana, Governor Muthomni Njuki said the introduction of the biometric system was a sure way of making sure the residents of the county get services when they needed them. The system has been programmed in a way that captures one's fingerprint and the face.
Good. And the other one, in case you hurt your right finger, you don't want to lock you. We search and see if you have registered him successfully. Yeah, you see him there? Governor Muthomi Njoke. And now you can see signed in successfully, that is Governor Muthomi Njoke. And you'll see the time. Just be patient. Let's hope the governor works for more than a minute here.
We expect with this biometric, and it's already happening, that the 2,997 employees, if they are not real, they will disappear. The reason why we have captured your face is because you're not even likely to send somebody with your finger to come and clock in for you. You must bring your face, you must bring your finger. Some of you think that because it looks very portable, I saw this gentleman who had that thing here in the morning, looks portable, that you'll carry it to your home and you'll clock in the morning, then you go to the shamba, come back and clock in the at 2, then go to fishing, you come back and clock at 3. That thing is made in such a way that it only responds to the location where you are supposed to be having a workstation.
130 people were rushed to the Molo sub-county hospital after consuming meat from a dead cow. 25 men, 45 women and 60 children from Kuresoi North were rushed to hospital after they started complaining of severe stomachache accompanied by diarrhea. The local administration has warned residents against consuming meat that has not been inspected by public health officials.
Na kichwa na kuhara. Sasa hiyo ndio ile kitu ilikuja, tukujua ndio sasa tukakimbia kutafuta usaidizi wa daktari.
Nafikiri tulikula hii nyama siku ya Ijumaa na tu kujua ni mbaya. Kufikia jana tulikuwa watu wote ni wagonjwa. Ndio kufika asubuhi saa 12 nilipiga simu kwa chifu. Nikaambia chifu tuombe tu msaada tuokolewe. Na ndio akashughulika paka wakati huu tuko hapa sasa.
Kuna ng'ombe iliathiriwa na ugonjwa katika kijiji cha Kibdororo katika kata ya Sirikwa. Hiyo ng'ombe ilikuwa na signs ya severe diarrhea with bloodish stains. Mwenye ng'ombe aliita daktari, akakuja akaitibu, hatimaye ng'ombe ilala chini ikafa. Baadaye wenzetu wakakula hiyo nyama ambayo ya ng'ombe ambayo imekufa, na wameathirika, wanasikia maumivu ya tumbo na kutabika na kuhara.
All right, so right now we want to go back to our top story this morning. And remember, it has everything to do with 2022 politics. And we are asking you on our Twitter poll that if you support the proposal to have Raila Odinga on the ballot come 2022, that is our Twitter poll this morning. Thank you very much for all the thoughts that I'm seeing on my Twitter handle. Remember, the hashtag to use is KTN News Center, or tweet me at Betty M. Kialo. Let me sample one or two messages here before I get to my colleague Chris Tairu. Millie Herb, you say he is out of card moves. Whether his face is on the ballot or not, he is doomed to fail. David Ochola, you have a different view. You say, yes, I support Raila Odinga. He is qualified like any other Kenyan, and as long as he meets the threshold, even you, Betty Kialo, as long as you're qualified, you can go for it. Thank you very much for your thoughts. James, and you say, yes, 100%. We need someone to defeat. All right, keep them coming. CPA Anthony Tabani, you say, it is his democratic right, but let him know that we cannot afford a bloated executive. Inclusivity is not creating positions for politicians at the top. Thank you for your comments. Let them keep coming. KTN News Center is our hashtag, or tweet me at Betty M. Kello. We are asking you this morning, do you support the proposal to have Raila Odinga on the ballot come 2022? Let me know your thoughts. All right, let me now bring in my colleague Chris Sairu. Chris, good morning. So first things first, let's talk about that retreat for ODM. What is it all about?
Well, a very good morning to you, Betty. And the second biggest political party in the country, that is after Jubilee Party, the Orange Democratic Movement Party, is expected to start its two-day retreat in Naivasha. This is the first retreat that the party is having since the famous handshake between the ODM party leader Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta. That was in March. And so much has happened. And during this two-day retreat that is expected to start today, the members are expected to be briefed by the party leader on what has been transpiring behind the curtains. Remember that it still remains hidden to their closed chest, that is between the president and the former prime minister Raila Odinga, on what actually they agreed when they met on the March 9th at Harambee House, an indication that brought peace. Remember, after the handshake, so much also has happened, and the members members also will be expecting to be briefed on the now famous or clamor for constitutional changes that have been brought by the former Prime Minister. Remember, when he was in Kakamega County during the devolution conference, and when he was addressing, he brought another twist to the political equation, indicating that there is need to amend the constitution and have a three-tier system of government. Of course, we've seen that being opposed by members from the Jubilee side and led by the Deputy President William Ruto. In this retreat also, we expect that the party will be filling some of the positions that have been left vacant by some of those officials from the grassroots and some of those officials from the top office that have decamped from one party maybe to the other. And today will be the directors meeting, and after the meeting we expect that come tomorrow, party leader Raila Odinga will be chairing that next meeting, and of course come up with their final deliberations on what they deliberate after that retreat, Betty.
All right, Chris, are we also likely to see that conversation, or that conversation really being part of the discussions, that conversation to do with the ballot come 2022? Because it has been an issue where a number of leaders drawn from ODM, of course, have commented on, and they say that indeed they are proposing that Raila Odinga be on that ballot.
Well, Betty, from the political rallies or the political forums that we've seen over the period of time since the 2017 repeat presidential polls, we've seen that members from the opposition, or basically ODM legislators, just piling pressure on their party leader Raila Odinga to try again vie for the presidency come 2022. And yesterday we saw Raila Odinga through his through his spokesman, that is press spokesman Dennis Onyango, coming out and indicating that Raila Odinga is not interested in the 2022 general elections, and for him he's just interested in building bridges and ensuring that Kenyans are together and they are reconciled even as we head to the 2022 general elections. But Betty, on the other hand, we've seen members from the Jubilee side really not taking these statements with a pinch of salt, and they have actually indicated that Raila Odinga, as the man that he is known in our politics, is a man that can pull any card from nowhere, and they can just trust his word in regards actually to what they have seen him traversing the country, maybe holding meetings and pushing actually for constitutional changes. And their argument is, if he's not interested in 2022, then why is he still on the campaign mode? But on the other hand, we've seen for Raila Odinga, according to him, he's interested in building bridges and ensuring that all Kenyans are at peace. And even as we head to the 2022 general elections, of course, there are so many issues that are yet to be tackled, according to the political players, when it comes to the electoral changes. Remember that right now we don't have the full IEBC commissioners. We only have the 3 remaining commissioners. And these are some of the issues that we expect also the party to deliberate, whether they will propose that either the Chebukati-led team to be agreed to come on a round table and agree to leave like the Izaka-san team left, or whether they will form a tribunal. These are some of the issues that still the political players are negotiating. And we don't have actually a law that comes up with or stipulates on how the selection panel for the IEBC commissioners will be brought in. And remember, the last time we had this was during the Kiraitu Murungi and James Orengo, the bipartisan committee. So much will be expected from this meeting, but at the end of the day, that is tomorrow, of course, they will be expected to come up with the deliberations and will be fronting this question directly to Raila Odinga on whether he will still be on the ballot, so that Kenyans at least can hear his voice on this issue. Betty.
All right. Finally, Chris, let's also talk about that other discussion that has been ongoing to do with a constitutional review. What has been the stance of the leaders joined from ODM even as we await to see if that will be part of the deliberations, maybe even on the sidelines of this particular retreat that will be happening?
Very interesting debate has been ongoing out there in the political scenario, Betty. And from one side, we've seen Raila Odinga came up with this clamor for change. That was after the handshake at Harambee House. And from there, we saw his brigade or his foot soldiers, those are members of parliament, the governors, members of the county assembly elected on the ODM or any other political party, but from the opposition supporting his stand. And his argument is, if we amend the constitution and bring back the position of the prime minister and his two deputies, then this will ensure that there is inclusivity in the government. And there are those who feel that in the opposition that the current situation, that is the presidential system, it's the winner takes it all. And that is the issue that has been coming on and on again. But on the other hand, we have the deputy president who has come out to strongly oppose the constitutional changes. But we are yet to see or yet to hear the stand that the president will be taking. Remember that during the burial of Matiba in Muranga, the president actually cautioned the politicians from politicking, and his stand was that let's stop politics, let's focus on development. On one side, we're seeing the president is focused on his legacy, but his deputy is out there really trying to ensure that these clamor for constitutional changes do not actually are not actually revealed or don't come out as expected by the side of the opposition. But on this other side of the opposition, we have now Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, and coming on board now, indicating that they also are also supporting constitutional changes. And from one side now, we have the NASA team now coming out like they're one team after the handshake. And on this other side, we have the deputy president and his team actually opposing the constitutional changes. And actually, the fear is that there are plans to clip the presidential powers, noting that come 2022, that deputy president is the front runner for that position, for the presidential seat, Betty.
All right. Chris Tairu, thank you for that. Of course, update and the insights to do with that ODM retreat. Like I mentioned also, we'll be speaking to Opiyo Wandayi shortly here in studio. That's Chris Tairu, my colleague, joining us from our City Centre studio. All right, so remember also that we have our Twitter poll, which is, of course, to do with the same topic, and we are asking you this morning, if you, as a Kenyan, if you support that proposal to have Raila Odinga on the ballot come 2022, there are divided, of course, opinions here. Many a number of people are saying yes, a number of people are saying no. Let's just sample one or two tweets here before I let you go on a break, or we go on a break. All right, let's look at some tweets here. Michael Ogello, you say those politicians are the ultimate opportunists who only look for loopholes to loot and waste resources. All right, Kibet Koech, you say, I don't care. The current constitution doesn't restrict who is supposed to vie for presidency, apart from education qualifications. So it's upon Raila to decide. Michael, you say, Mickey, I beg your pardon, you say, so true for presidency, he is past that. Okay, thank you for your comments. Keep them coming. FM Ignatius, you say, I support Raila Odinga to be the president come 2022. All right. Thank you for your comments. Keep them closer. And of course, we will be looking at them in a few minutes. Also, as we continue with the show, let's take a short commercial break. Do not go away. News Center continues in a few minutes. See you then.